Twee.com is one of the few AI tools that is specifically for language teachers and language students. It works in multiple languages and it will generate a whole series of exercises and activities and reading and gap fills and matching and multiple choice and true or false, etc. activities for you at the click of a button. Now, what's really interesting is that there's been some great updates, including now you can make an activity and get the students to do it online. It also has a system that checks the CEFR level of any text, and it works in multiple languages. I'm going to show you the updates. I'm going to take you through this technology. If you're a language teacher or a language student, you're going to find this really interesting. Please, as always, if you like the video, please like it, please share it, please comment on it, and of course, join me on my YouTube channel. Let's get started. Okay, so I've logged into my account and I just want to quickly show you, look how many different tools are available. And it's all the sorts of things that we like doing as teachers with gap fills, true or false, warm-up questions, discussion questions, open questions, word definitions, etc. And the interesting thing is that you can build up your activities. So in other words, you can start with the text and then add a gap fill and then add true or false and then add multiple choice questions and then add, for example, a definitions match activity. Now, to make life easier, I'm going to use a menu system. So if you want to click through to the part that you want to see, then just do that. What I'm going to do is start with a super quick demo, and then we'll start to look at some of the updates and how you can share and do activities online or do them in the classroom in a PDF file. Before I start, just want to point out now that if, for example, I click on this one here, create a text on any topic, notice, though we're going to work in English today, if you click here, notice that it works in multiple languages, including, for me, Polish, which is really useful since that's the language that I'm studying. Let's start by writing a text. So I'm going to click here on create a text. I'm going to call this text the solar system. So I'm going to have a text written about the solar system. Now, one thing here is I can stipulate specific vocabulary that I want to add in. So just for an example, I've written in here planets, atmosphere, moons, gravity, but I can put in as many words as I want. Now what I can do is come down here and choose the level of the text. So I'm going to choose a text to be about level B2, okay? And then the genre of the text, well, I'm going to have kind of a descriptive article. I'll keep the length of the text the same, and I'm going to click on do the magic, and it's now going to write the text for me, and that's going to be the very beginning of the activity. Afterwards, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in some activities to go afterwards, perhaps true or false questions, multiple choice, etc. Now, it's well worth noting that you can edit this text, so you can click here and come in and edit the text, and also you might want to add in a new description or change the title at the top. So you've got loads and loads of flexibility. To save time, I won't do that now, but make sure that you do that. It's good to put your own instructions in your own title. Now, you can also copy that text or delete it. If you come down below here, though, this is the interesting things. You can now build on that text. You can build on the words that you provided and produce additional activities, or build on the topic and produce additional activities, or build on the actual results. Now I'm going to build on the results by generating some true or false questions. So I click on true or false questions. Again, it grabs that same text. I'm going to stipulate the level to be B1, B2, click on do the magic, and now it's added some true or false statements connected to the text. Again, completely editable, and very handy is that it provides us with the answers as well. Now, there is actually a free offer with Twee, and you can see it here on the screen. You can also think about paying. You get a lot more, and I think it's a great tool and well worth thinking about paying. You get a lot of additional benefits, and I can provide you with a link, and I'll put it on the screen now and also in the description, where if you click, you will get a 20% discount either on the monthly or the yearly option. And just to make it absolutely clear, I will get a small commission, which will obviously help my channel, if you decided to buy into the product. Now, I'm going to add just one more activity, but I could build up and create as many activities as possible. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a gap fill. So I'm going to click on this one here, and I like the gap fill because what you can do is you can actually just copy by selecting the words and then click on create gap, and it will turn that word into a gap. Now the interesting thing as well is that you can create gap activities with multiple words. So for example, if I wanted to pull out a complete, for example, let's say carbon dioxide, I can create a gap for the word carbon dioxide. Or even, for example, if you've got a simple phrase that you want to use, okay, so for example, is a pivotal force. I might want to put that one in there, okay? Now I'm not going to do too many gaps because of time. So what I'm going to do now is once I've selected the gaps that I want, very easy to do, I click on do the magic, and that's going to turn that into a gap fill activity. So now what we've got is a text, and after the text we've got some true or false questions, and then finally we've got the gap fill activity. Now, how do you share this with the students? Well, you've got two options. You can make a PDF file, or you can now actually do these activities live. In fact, there are actually more options, but let's just click on export, and I just want to do the quickest one. Notice you do have some other options here, including export into Google Forms, etc. I'm going to click as save as PDF and just click on export, and now you'll see that it will export this as a PDF. It will format it really nicely for you, immediately ready to print and use in class. So if I come over to my downloads and I click here, you'll notice that there it is. I've got my text, I've got my questions, I've got my gap fill activity, and at the end I've got my answers. Now of course I could have made this a lot longer. So one option is to generate a PDF file. So the first big update is that you can now do these activities live. In other words, it will generate a link. You share the link with the students and the students can do the activities. Now, one thing about Twee is that you get these great texts, but of course you can't listen to the audio. It's generating the text. However, there is a technology that you can combine with Twee, which is absolutely brilliant. It's called Love Voice. And I'll put that on the screen now because combining Twee and Love Voice together, Love Voice will generate the audio from any text and in multiple languages, could be a really powerful way of organizing a lesson. Let's get back to the video then, and of course don't forget to like the video if you're finding it useful. If you want to assign this as an online activity, what you do is click on assign here, and you've got two options. You can share the link, so you can copy the link and just share it with the students. But also you can click here and use a QR code. So if students have got phones, they can point their camera at the phone and access the online version this way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open this link up and let's have a look at what the students see. So I'm just going to log in as a student. I'm going to write my name, Russell. I'm going to click on start. And here I've got my text, then I've got my questions, and I can just simply obviously click on whatever answer I think. So, and the great thing about this system as well, as you'll see in a minute, is that you can get immediate feedback on your answers. So I can submit answers and it's going to tell me which ones I got wrong or right. Okay, and I can do the same here. This one's nice because you just drag the word in, okay, or the words. Remember, you can also use this with multiple words as well. And I think I've done them all. One still missing. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, just drag that in. And then the same thing again. I would just click here on the button here and check my answers. This is very much formative assessment. It's not ideal for tests. And then it gives me the feedback there of how many I got wrong and right. And then if I click on the button here, I think at the bottom, no, in fact, it's automatic. As soon as I click to check the second piece of work, then that data is sent to the teacher. If I click over now as the teacher and click on results, I can actually see now that two students have done that activity. Both of them have completed it. Tom got 54% and Russell got 20%. Okay, so you've had a bit of a taster of what Twee can do. If you look down though, there are absolutely masses of tools. There's a number of tools, for example, that work with YouTube that you might find interesting. Though I must say, if you're going to work with YouTube, you might want to look at TurboScribed, because that is a free tool and it's great because it will extract the transcript from any video in any language and then you can generate loads of activities around it. What I want to do now though is to look at the CEFR level checker, which I think is a really useful tool because it helps us to understand the level of any text. We can use it in a variety of different ways, and it's a new feature. Don't forget to like the video if you're enjoying this video, and let's now look at the CEFR level tester. This is a utility, so you can click on it, and I'm going to just paste in some text here, okay? And what I'm going to do now, once I've pasted in the text, I'm going to click on Do the Magic, and it's going to hopefully tell me what level that particular text is. And it's obviously going through it at the moment. Let's have a quick look. And there it gives me some information. Now that's really good because I did actually ask it to generate a text for me at level B2. And what I did was I copied the text, and now I'm putting it in to double check it. I've used this tool several times, and I think it could be a useful guide. I tried, for example, with another piece of text that I knew was around level A2, and again, it showed up as A2. It's never perfect because you're always going to have a couple of words below the level and even a few above, but it may be a useful guide to you. And again, keep in mind that you can actually use this in other languages. Now, it's in beta in other languages, but certainly for me, when I'm looking for text at the level of, for example, B1 in Polish, then it's a useful guide. Notice if you click on the checker that you can upload a website as well as just adding the text. So you do have a few choices. I've only really used this button so far, but I think this could be a very, very useful addition. Okay, really hope you liked the video, and if you do, please come over to teachertrainingvideos.com. There's hundreds more videos on the website. There's a really popular section on teaching and using AI. I specialise in making videos to help language teachers use technology. If you want to sign up to the newsletter, then that way you can keep up with all the latest videos, the free webinars that we run, the courses that we run, etc. And at the moment, if you sign up to the newsletter, there is a special 14-part free course that you'll be sent. You'll be sent a video about every 3 or 4 days that really just focuses on the most popular technologies on my YouTube channel that teachers have reacted to, and that really builds up into a really nice course and gives you a strong basis in using technology in language teaching. It's completely free, and literally everything that I show you is a free technology. If you'd like to have live training with me, then think about joining me on Patreon. On Patreon, for $6 a month, you get 3 free videos from me each month without any advertisements in them. But the important thing is those videos are connected to a monthly webinar that we have where we meet live. And we normally work with the technology that we focused on that month, or sometimes it's 2 technologies. And we do activities and really learn to use those technologies well, so that then you can try those out in class or online with your students. The other interesting thing about joining me on Patreon is that actually you get access to all of the backdated material. So there's over a year of videos and live training. This training is very practical with lots and lots of ideas about things that you can do in the class or online with your students teaching languages. So it's much more practical than the YouTube videos, and you get that as part of the $6 a month. Okay, I'm going to leave some more videos on the screen that I think you might find useful.